So 2 Democratic state lawmakers were shot in politically motivated attacks, including Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark, who are now both deceased. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about 2 targeted politically motivated attacks on state lawmakers in Minnesota. Now, one attack I mentioned from the very beginning, you have a Democratic state rep, Melissa Hortman, and her husband, Mark, who are now both deceased. May they rest in peace. Prayers out to their family. The other attack was on a state senator by the name of John Hoffman and his wife. They are still living, but they are in pretty bad shape. I guess you would say critical condition. Prayers out to them. May they get well soon. Now, there's a lot we got to address, but I want to get straight to the elephant in the room because there's been quite a bit of chatter about this on social media, on the internet. Let me just show you straight away. You see what this says right here. Minnesota budget deal cuts health care for adults who enter the U.S. illegally. This was a really big thing in Minnesota. It was pretty divisive. And Melissa Hortman was the sole Democrat in the House to join Republicans and voting for the bill. Now, to be clear, this bill has other things in it, but this provision would take away health care for illegal aliens. Now, when she voted for it, she was very tearful, very apologetic. However, John Hoffman is in the Senate. He did not vote for this. He voted against the bill, although it wound up passing the Senate 37-30. Now, some are saying the reason why this happened is because that happened. I'm not really sure that makes any sense because one person voted for the bill, the other voted against it. And again, they're both Democrats. So if this is the reason, I don't really see why when they had separate votes on the issue. But that is possibility, maybe at least in the case of Melissa Hortman. Now, Trump responded to what's going on. You see what it says right here. I've been briefed on a terrible shooting that took place in Minnesota, which appears to be a targeted attack against state lawmakers. Our Attorney General, Pam Bondi, and the FBI are investigating the situation, and they'll be prosecuting anyone involved. To the full extent of the law, such horrific violence will not be tolerated in the U.S. of A. God bless the great people of Minnesota, a truly great place. Now, to add one more piece, they have not found that guy as of yet. As of right now, it's about 1 p.m. on the East on Saturday, June 14th, 2025. They have not found that guy as of yet. The police did engage in the shootout at the home of, I believe, Melissa Hortman after that shooting, but the guy was able to retreat into the home and get away on foot. So now it's a manhunt. And they're saying it's targeted because they don't want you to think that this is some kind of way an active shooter who's just shooting random people. Now, let's get to a news report from ABC. If you want to see this report, if you want to hear the report, and you want to see anything else that I've mentioned in the video, I will link to that in the description box. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
And good morning to you. I'm Gio Benitez. We are following breaking news right now. Sources telling ABC News that 2 Minnesota state lawmakers have been shot and when law enforcement officials say was a targeted incident. Let's get right on the phone now with ABC News Chief Investigative Reporter Josh Margolin. Josh, you've been following this all morning long. What do we know right now?
Gio, good morning. It's a very, very serious situation just north of Minneapolis in the Hennepin County suburbs, highly populated area. We have a former Speaker of the State House and a state senator, both Democrats. Not saying that party has anything to do with it at all at this point, but both are Democrats. Apparently, they were in their separate homes near each other, and allegedly they were shot by the same perpetrator. Perpetrator is now on the run. The injuries are serious, grave. It's a very serious situation. The governor is on site, as is the FBI.
Now, this video may have been made before the House Rep Melissa Hortman and her husband passed away. At this particular point, they might have just been shot. And as I said, John Hoffman and his wife were also shot, critical condition, but as of right now, they are still living.
I know that you're learning that the FBI is now involved. We believe at this point that the shooter was impersonating law enforcement?
There are, yes, it is. That is believed to be what happened. The shooter was definitely apparently wearing some sort of tactical gear and reported to be looking like impersonating law enforcement. That could ultimately not be the case when they finally get a hold of the shooter. But part of this is they wanted to alert the local population. This is somebody who needs to be considered very, very dangerous.
Now, what I was able to read is that the guy had a very convincing police outfit on. When the police had engaged in the shootout at Miss Hortman's home, he had vest, badge, all of that. And he pulled up in the vehicle that looked like a police car with the lights and everything.
We're also learning here, Josh, that both of these lawmakers were shot at their homes. Is that right?
Yes, apparently both at their homes. Law enforcement was very, very quick to say these are targeted attacks. That is language that they use when they want the public to know there's not some sort of active shooter randomly shooting at people outside. But yes, they were targeted at their homes. And as you know, Gio, state lawmakers tend to be highly accessible. They're members of the community, members of the population, mothers at PTA meetings and parents who go to Little League games.
All right, Josh Margolin, our chief investigative reporter, thank you so much. I know you're.
So there we go. That's what we have so far. And again, this is pretty early. Like, this is just breaking. Like, I saw the news come across my phone. People were sending me this like right around 12 noon, and it's about 1:21 p.m. So this is pretty fresh. And I think there will be new information as the day goes on. Maybe they're going to catch the guy. Maybe they're going to find out more of a motive. One more thing I read before I wrap it up here is that he had a list in his vehicle. They found a list in the vehicle with other names on it, but they're being very tight-lipped about what the list said, who was on the list, or whatever. But there was a list, and it looks like these people here were on it with everybody else. I don't know why they were on the list. I don't know what the objective was, but that's what's going on. Some want to say, oh, it's the MAGAs, blame the Republicans. I don't know who really did this, but all we know is that they're saying it was politically motivated, and they're two Democrats. The lead about it being about the bill stripping away illegal aliens' health care. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because one Democrat did vote for it, which was abnormal, but the other Democrat did not vote for it and voted against it. So I don't know what's going on. But as I close, I want to say this. Again, rest in peace to those who passed away. Prayers out to their family, to those who are still recovering. Prayers out to you. Hopefully you get well soon. Speedy recovery. And for the community out there in Minneapolis, this happened in Champlain and Brooklyn Park. Prayers out to you guys because that's got to be a shock to the system to see something like this happen. You probably live in a really nice area and you don't see these kind of things happen at all. And even if it wasn't in a nice area, still, that's pretty traumatic. So prayers out to all involved. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about this whole situation? Do you think that this is a conservative that did this? It might have been the crazy liberal, Antifa. What's your opinion about what you know so far? Again, it's very early. By the time you see this, it's probably more that'll come out. Okay, maybe they found the guy. Maybe they'll talk about the list. Maybe they'll give more information. But based upon what you know right now, what are your thoughts on what's happening? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. Hopefully they get this guy and send it to the penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks, and we learn more about why this happened and also how he was able to get all that stuff. A police car. Like, let's find out more before we really start to assign blame on one side or the other. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.